Yo, what's going on, buddy? This is Don't Talk Sports. My name is Dylan. In today's video, what I'm going to be doing is we're going to be discussing Tiger Woods and the reason why I think he just needs to call it quits and not exactly retire, but just step away from the pro ways of playing golf. Now, let me get this out of the way first off. Tiger Woods is probably hands down, if not the greatest, top 5 at least, greatest golfers we've seen in this history of golf. He's got all the PGA Tour wins, the Master wins. He's got so many wins when it comes to golf tournaments. He's up there with the greats. But here over the past couple years, he's just been like on a downward spiral. As we know, he went through a little bit of turmoil throughout his life. I believe he had a bunch of injuries, back surgeries, leg surgeries. He's had a bunch of injuries. And here back in 2021, 2022, I believe, he had the car accident where he ended up having his legs pretty much in a bad state. And he ended up having to get surgeries, like I said. Since then, he's come back. He tried to do a whole bunch of tournaments. He's tried to make a comeback. And it's just not been the way he used to be. So what I wanted to do in this video is I kind of want to talk about all the injuries, everything that he's been going through, and just discuss why I think he needs to step away. Because like I said, it's getting bad. Because so many tournaments where we see him come back and he's like, yeah, the reporters will ask him, do you think you can win this? Do you think you're going to do good? He's like, I do believe I think I can do this. And then he ends up going out there in the very first round. He's like by round 12, round 13, 14, or whole 12, 13, 14. And he's already just giving up. So without further ado, I'm going to get straight on into this. If you're going to enjoy it, as always, make sure you go and drop a like onto this video. Be very much appreciated if you do so. But without further ado, let's get into it. Before I go any further, everything you're going to be seeing on screen, I'll have everything linked down in the description. So first off, let's go ahead and talk about his stats. I want to kind of go over and just talk about his career in general because I want to give credit to Tiger Woods before I just go ahead and, I guess you could say, shit on him. Obviously, as we know, he has over 82 career all-time PGA Tour victories. He's won 18 majors right behind the great Jack Nicklaus. At the pro level, he has 15 right behind 18 of Jack Nicklaus. When it comes to PGA Tour wins, he's at 82. Like I said, he's tied for the most ever. Here over the past couple years, he's not been winning, and everybody's just constantly praying, like, come on, Tiger, win one more so you can have the all-time record. You can see kind of all the accolades he has for, like, consecutive PGA Tour wins, PGA Tour wins in a 1 year. As you can see, he had a record for a while from 1998 to 2005 for 142 consecutive events without missing the cut. There for a while, here in, like, the late 2015 to 2023, he had a kind of a split of where he was making the cut at times, but then it's like he was just like making the cut for the first time or first round, and then after that he was just fading away. And what I mean by that, for like the Masters, like I said, the PGA Tour and all the different Augusta, different events within the golf tournaments, you can, a lot of times the leaders, they're like the best ones, they're up around like a 6 under, 7 under, 8 under. After that first round, they're playing extremely well. For Tiger, he was generally like a +2, +1, not the greatest in the world, but also not the worst. And when you watch Tiger play, it's like he would maybe do good on one hole and then very bad on the next hole, and then okay on the next hole and then very bad on the next hole. And it was like he was like battling through these injuries, and he was just barely making the cut. Now I want to discuss his injuries. Like I said earlier on, he's had a ton of injuries. 1994, he had 2 benign tumors and scar tissue removed from his left knee. In 2002, he had fluid removed from the inside and outside of his ACL of his left knee. Benign cysts also removed. In 2008, in April, after the Masters, he had surgery on his left knee to repair cartilage damage. In May, he was told by doctors that he had 2 stress fractures in his left tibia. In 2014, after withdrawing from events in Florida swing, he had surgery on his pinched nerve in his back. In 2015, you can see where it kind of really ramps up. Into he had 2 surgeries on his back to remove bone fragments that were pinching against nerves. In October, he had another back surgery. In 2017, he had a spinal fusion, which was actually his 4th back surgery. 2019, he had arthroscopic surgery that was described as a minor cartilage damage in his left knee, and it was also his 5th procedure on the knee. In 2021, he had to undergo another back surgery, which was to remove another bone fragment that was pinching against another nerve. And then, as you can see, in February of that year, he had a car accident in California. Everybody knows how tragic that was. And in that accident, he had his right leg and ankle were severely broken, requiring emergency surgery, including inserting a rod into his tibia and screws and pins into his foot and ankle. And then through all that, you can see here, we thought Tiger Woods, he was going to come back. He had the Genesis tour coming up, and this happened a couple weeks ago from when you're going to be seeing this video. And he went out there, and we were like, okay, Tiger, let's see what you can do. The leaders got ahead. The leaders were up, I think, like almost up to like -9, and Tiger was way down at like +4. And the thing with the way the golf tournaments work, there's 18 holes, you're going to have to play it. Most of the golfers, they're going to walk to their hole. Tiger, he was just riding with the caddy. He was getting on the golf cart, and he was just getting driven to every single hole. And I think it was like round 12 or 14. It says somewhere in here, it was like round 12 or 14 hole. He was just like, I can't do this. And even some of the people here, you can see where it says, quote, he didn't look right before the group even teed off on Friday. After talking about all that, my reasoning as to why he just needs to give up, not really give up, but just step away from the pro scene, it's almost just torture on himself. Because every single time he goes out there on the green and he's trying to play golf, every swing, it's like he grimaces at his back and it's like it's hurting and he's reaching down and rubbing his knee and he can't even walk. Like when he hits with a wedge shot and he goes up there, grabs his putter and he's trying to walk up there to the green, he's like hinting at every single step he takes and it hurts. And you gotta feel for the guy, because how many times do you watch like a basketball player or a football player when they get up into their 40s and you're just like, man, they're going like 0 for 15. They went 2 for 20 in this game. They sucked. Or a football player, say a quarterback that gets up to like 39, 40 years old and like somebody that besides Tom Brady, who just obviously you can tell they are just not themselves. When Eli Manning was still playing, you could just tell he's not himself and he needed to retire. This is the same thing with Tiger Woods. He's not playing it like himself. The injuries are holding him back. And every time he goes out there and he tries to say, yeah, I think I could do it. Yeah, I think I'm going to be fine. And then he goes out there and he just stinks in the first round. It's like, bro, there's 3 rounds of 18 holes. And you can barely make it through half the first round. At some point, whether it's his agent, a manager, his own caddy, somebody needs to come to Tiger and just say, you've had a great run, Tiger. You have had a great run. Like, he's 48 years old. The man's pretty much pushing his age. And I do realize, don't get me wrong, for any people who play golf or watch golf religiously, come at me in the comments and say, well, I've seen better golfers later in their life at better or older ages. I get that. But those golfers, maybe they took care of their body more. Maybe they were more understanding of they need to keep their body right so they can keep going out there and playing. And I realize golf is not a sport that you have to retire at some point, or you have to actually like officially retire, put the clubs away and you can't touch it again. You can keep playing golf all the way up to you're like 90 years old. I've seen 90-year-olds out on the green, out on the fairway, hitting shots. I understand you can play at any age, but when it comes to pro level playing, like the PGA Tour, the Masters, Augusta, all that sorts of stuff, the US Open, there comes a time where you need to just put it down and you gotta stop competing. And before anybody says I don't know anything about golf, I watched the Jordan Spieth, I watched the Phil Mickelson, I watched the Rory McIlroys. I understand golf and I know there's a lot of great ones still out there competing. It's not like when Tiger leaves, the golf scene is just gonna die. There's a lot of great golfers still there that you can watch and enjoy watching. But when it comes to Tiger Woods, he just needs to step away. Because I think if he just keeps at this, he's going to keep hurting himself. He's going to just he's going to ruin his own dignity, I think. Because I feel like if he would have just stepped away 2 years ago, we would have looked at him as just like the greatest golfer ever. Maybe you could have made a debate for him against Jack Nicklaus. Him and Jack Nicklaus would have been like right here. Now with the way how he's like just declining. Jack Nicklaus, from my recent memory, he went out like up on top. Like you knew Jack Nicklaus was the GOAT. Right now with Tiger, it's like it was here. Now Tiger's like slowly kind of dropping. And the more he just stinks here over these past couple years, it's like it's just ruining his pride. But other than that, I think I'm going to wrap it up there. Hopefully you guys did go on to enjoy today's video. If you did enjoy, as always, make sure you go and drop a like on today's video. Be very much appreciated if you do so. If you wanted to watch the entirety of today's video, thank you very much. And like I said, if you disagree, agree with anything I said about Tiger Woods, if you think he should or should not retire, leave your complete opinion down in the comment section down below. Be more than welcome to talk about with you guys. If you're a fan of the content that I do post here and you want to go and hit that big red subscribe button, feel free to do so. And do not forget to hit that little notification bell to be notified the second I post. But without further ado, this has been Donald Talk Sports. Have a great day. Peace.